Listen up, Stoic warriors. How to spot an evil person. Yeah, we all know the kind. Right, those toxic, sneaky, just downright messed up individuals who can turn your life into a minefield. No, I'm not talking about those cartoon villains with the capes and the maniacal laughter. We're dealing with the real-life Hannibal Lecters, the sociopaths disguised as charming colleagues or even family members. And let me tell you, they're scarier than any fictional character. In today's episode, we're going to arm ourselves with the wisdom of the Stoics and become masters of human lie detection. Now, before we jump into it, I have a quick question for you. How many of you have ever fallen prey to these evil schemes? Come on, be honest. Raise your hand if you've ever found yourself in a situation where you thought, "Man, I should have seen this coming." If you're nodding along, I feel you. I've been there too. This is part 2 of our mini-series on spotting evil. Last time we discussed the alarming signs that might indicate someone's evil. Today we're turning up the heat. We're going deep into their tactics and strategies so you can recognize them from a mile away. Think of this as your cheat sheet, your guide to navigating the treacherous waters of human relationships. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with the tools to identify the evilest of the evil. So let's dive in, shall we? Sin no. 1. They feed off your struggles. Imagine this. You're pouring your heart out to a friend about a recent setback, maybe a failed project or a messy breakup, and as you speak, you notice a strange glint in their eye, almost as if they're deriving pleasure from your pain. Suddenly, they begin offering unsolicited advice, minimizing your feelings, or even worse, cracking jokes that land more like jabs than comedic relief. My friends, you've just encountered the dark side of human nature, Schadenfreude, the art of finding joy in others' misfortunes. You've probably noticed that some folks take great pleasure in watching others stumble. Maybe you've heard phrases like "good things happen to bad people," or perhaps you've witnessed firsthand how some people seem to thrive in the face of tragedy. Well, let me tell you, it's not just a quirky saying or a mere observation. It's a glimpse into the psyche of someone whose moral compass has gone astray. They revel in your pain because it amuses them. Let's take a look at this through the lens of Stoicism. Marcus Aurelius, the great emperor-philosopher, had a lot to say about those who find pleasure in your pain. He once said, "The best revenge is to be unlike them." What he meant was that when someone takes pleasure in your struggles, the best response isn't to lash out or seek retaliation. Instead, it's to rise above it, to stay composed and keep moving forward. By refusing to give them the satisfaction of seeing you falter, you win. You become the bigger person. And that, my friends, is the ultimate revenge. But remember, recognizing this behavior is just the first step. The real challenge lies in not letting it affect you. Easier said than done, I know. Sin no. 2. They weave a web of lies without remorse. Ah, yes. Sin no. 2. The master manipulator, the weaver of lies. They could be the colleague who gossips about their boss behind their back, or that friend who blames you for their own mistakes. The common thread among them, they lie easily and often, and show no remorse when caught. But why do they do this? Why are some people so adept at deception and so careless about the damage their lies cause? Well, it boils down to one thing: a lack of empathy. They're skilled liars because they don't care about the truth. To them, it's just another pawn in their game of manipulation. So how does Stoicism help us navigate this minefield of deceit? Let's turn to Epicurus for some guidance. He once said, "If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, don't defend yourself, just reply, 'He must not know my other faults,' or he would have mentioned those too." Now, I know it sounds like a cheeky response, but there's a deeper meaning here. When someone tells you bad things about another person, you have a choice. Either you believe them and let it affect you, or you choose not to. Epictetus is suggesting that you shouldn't bother defending yourself against false accusations. Why? Because a person who would slander you wouldn't hesitate to do the same to others. Their track record is littered with lies and deceit. So don't waste your energy trying to convince them otherwise. Instead, focus on your own path. Stay true to yourself and let their accusations bounce off your stoic armor. Sin no. 3. They have no empathy, a true reflection of their soul. Have you ever met someone who always seems to say the wrong thing at the worst possible moment? Someone who brushes off your feelings or dismisses your concerns with a wave of their hand? They make you feel small, belittled, and unseen. Well, you've just encountered a classic sign of a truly evil person. A complete lack of empathy. They're emotionally stunted, unable to grasp or care about the feelings of others. They exist in a bubble of their own making, and everyone else is just a pawn in their twisted game. When we delve into the teachings of the Stoics, we find a powerful reminder about the importance of understanding and sharing in the experiences of others. Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his journal, "The fruit of this life is good character and acts for the common good." What he meant was that the purpose of our lives is unjust to pursue our own happiness, but also to contribute to the happiness of others. To be a Stoic is to be deeply empathetic, to understand that every person you meet is fighting their own battles, carrying their own burdens. So, if someone shows no empathy towards you, ask yourself, what value do they bring to the world? If their existence doesn't extend beyond themselves, then they're not just selfish, they're potentially dangerous. Remember, Stoicism isn't about building walls around yourself. It's about tearing down the walls that separate us from others. Sign no. 4. They charm everyone except you. Yes, the fourth sign. The ones who seem larger than life, the charmers, the smooth talkers, they enter a room and instantly command attention. They're charismatic, witty, and seemingly magnetic. But beneath that dazzling exterior lurks a sinister secret. They're cunning manipulators, adept at weaving tales of woe and misfortune to extract sympathy or advantage. These are the emotional vampires, preying on the kindness and compassion of unsuspecting souls. In the world of Stoicism, being overly concerned with how others perceive you is a recipe for disaster. Marcus Aurelius wisely noted that our desire for external validation often leads to misery. He said, "Look inward, for there is the light." So how do we spot the evil lurking behind such charming facades? It starts with awareness. Recognize that charisma and popularity aren't a person's defining trait. Look beyond the charm and assess their actions. Do their deeds align with their words? Are their relationships built on genuine connection, or are they just using people for their own benefit? Remember, a wolf in sheep's clothing is still a wolf. Just because someone is beloved by many doesn't make them inherently good. Their popularity could be a carefully crafted illusion, a manipulation tactic to sway public opinion. So if someone charms everyone except you, it might be time to take a closer look, to examine their words and actions more closely. Sin no. 5. They pass the buck, never taking responsibility. Finally, we come to the last sign, the ultimate red flag, a refusal to take responsibility for their actions. Picture this. You're working on a group project, and a critical deadline looms over the horizon. Some team members have contributed, but one person, well, they haven't pulled their weight. When called out, instead of owning up to their shortcomings, they shift the blame. They point fingers, make excuses, and conveniently distance themselves from the situation. This behavior, my friends, is not merely a product of carelessness or forgetfulness. It's a reflection of a much deeper issue, a fundamental flaw in their character. The truth is, some people operate in a perpetual state of wrongdoing, forever casting the first stone while remaining unfazed by their own missteps. They live in a world where rules apply to others, but not to them. But what does Stoicism have to say about this pervasive issue? How can we deal with those who seem to have mastered the art of passing the buck? Well, the answer, as always, lies within the teachings of the ancient philosophers. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react, that matters." Think about that for a moment. Your life is filled with countless events, both positive and negative, but it's your interpretation of these events, your reaction to them, that truly counts. So the next time you find yourself confronted with the blame game, remember these words. Don't get sucked into their vortex of irresponsibility. Don't let their actions shake your inner peace. Rise above it. Stay grounded in your own values and responsibilities. After all, you can't control the actions of others, but you can control how you respond to them. And there you have it, folks. The 5 most telling signs that someone might not be what they seem, but rather a cunning manipulator, a master deceiver, a true master of disguise. We've covered the territory, from finding glee in your pain to their uncanny ability to avoid responsibility. But remember, knowledge is only the first step. It's like having the map without actually setting out on the journey. True wisdom lies in applying what we learn. So ask yourself, how will you use this knowledge in your daily life? Will you be able to spot the warning signs, read between the lines, and protect yourself from those who mean you harm? It's time to put your stoic spidey senses to work. Be vigilant, be cautious, and above all, stay true to yourself. In the words of the great philosopher Epicurus, be more demanding of yourself than of others. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with anyone who needs a bit of stoic wisdom. Until next time, stay strong, stay vigilant, and may the odds be ever in your favor.